Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to ask why make anything other than a playmaking shot creator in NBA2K21. So we're here to talk about the power of this build and explain why the imbalance of the point guard options that this game allows you to make is completely flawed. And then we're also here to just talk about how ridiculous the power of this build is. So you're gonna see my boy AK in this intro, right? We're going and just showing straight up 2 plays in a row, green from half court, 6 for 7 from 3 in one game. So not only can the build shoot lights out and dribble at the speed of light, but the ball control ability of how rare it is to get a steal on this build. I mean, look at this, man. We're triple teaming this dude for literally 24 seconds, and we don't even get the steal until like literally 2 seconds in the shot clock. So you can see we're literally swarming ball. I'm a pure lock, Dope is a two-way sharp, and then AK is a play sharp himself. We finally get the steal, and then what do you expect when AK touches the ball? Well, stop at half court, green for game. Simple as that. So we got a gameplay here for y'all. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this vid to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. And pretty much, like I said in the intro, we're here to talk about the imbalance of the build system, of the builds that it allows you to make, whether it be the pure playmaker, the BP build, the mostly slash, some shooting. Pretty much all those builds have some reason why you would make them, but it all comes down to the fact that no build can shoot like the playmaking shot creator does, other than a pure sharp. And if you are going to make a pure sharp, what's the point? The play shot still gets 95 3-pointer, and you get way better speed and ball handling and everything like that. So then real quick, to introduce the opponents, you can see they got a play shot at the 1, prim lock at the 2, glass cleaning finisher at the 3. Now honestly, I've seen some lethal lineups where it's double play shots, where you can just really have great shooting consistency from both point guards. You can dodge, lock, and force the play shot into the defense, which is really only weakness, even though at that, this build can still play pretty solid D. It's ridiculous how good the play shots are. But anyway, as I said, we got my boy Shots top 5. I call him AK. He's at the 1 with the play shot for our team. Then we have Dope with the prim lock as well. So pretty similar lineups both ways. We got an inside big on both teams, play shot at the 1, and then prim lock at the 2. So you can see AK's out here getting wide open. Like, that speed boost glitch is ridiculous. Now he does miss it right there. You can see this isn't the absolute perfect example of how great the play shot is in this game. And honestly, we were playing pretty solid defense on these guys too. So now as I say that, we get straight killed. He hits the white, and that's another thing to explain with this build too. If you are somebody who plays, whether it's just you're a casual and you have the play shot, or you're a sweat and you have the play shot, either way, you've seen the power of this build. Whether you're out here banging whites, even if you're not the most skilled player with it, whether you're dribbling straight into people like you saw in the intro clip, or if you're somebody who knows exactly what you're doing, and you're going to see AK over here doing speed boost glitch like out of his mind, like right here, and just gets wide open. He would have had a wide open 3, he would have had the wide open dunk, and you saw he low-key got bailed out because he dribbled straight into the dude. Now, we're also here to talk about that too, as I said in the intro clip, where dudes will just dribble straight into you with this stuff. Like, everybody talks about how hard ISO is, when I just don't see what people are talking about when it comes to like the difficulties of ISO, quote unquote, where you can dribble straight into people, you can bang whites all day. The stamina is ridiculous in this game, which I actually think is a good thing. People should be able to dribble consistently and still have the stamina to shoot the ball. But when it comes to like just dribbling straight into people as they reach for the ball, like look at that, he curry slides straight into him as he goes for the reach in toward the corner. And then the attention this build demands in the pick and roll game. Obviously in threes, you're going to give up easy 2s every single time because you got to really worry about stopping these 3-pointers. Me and Dope are playing sides every single time, but you can see when they put me in this ISO, it is a little bit tough to defend. Now let's talk about the reasons why these play sharps are unguardable. So we're actually able to defend them pretty well right here. Unfortunately, they got a horrible animation on the lob, and that's really the only reason they didn't score in that situation. But let's talk about the reason why these play sharps are so unguardable. So first and foremost, the first thing that comes to mind is like I was just talking about with the ball control and the ability to hit the 3s. So whether it be the range, the speed, or the consistency that you shoot at, or the fact that you can bang the whites. But let's talk about some actual things aside from the obvious, right? So the next thing that I would have to say is that pure locks are not a very usable build anymore. I have it right here, but it's because I run it as an inside center. A lot of people in years past would run the pure lock and line it up at the 2 and then have still a rim sharp at the 3 or something like that. So you would have a great on-ball defender with still a reliable big man. But now the shooting inconsistency is just too awful. Like it's just so bad. And granted, I think that's actually a good thing as well. Now we got to run this back and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So look at how much attention is put on AK right here. Double team at half court. Now I take the slip as you should if you're an inside big man as well. If they give me the 2, it is what it is. Now as soon as I resume this clip, you're probably going to think the big man's just stupid. He completely abandoned his side, left AK wide open, and went down to guard me as I slip. And granted, it's a good time for me to slip because they're just flat out giving it to me. Big man drops with me. Now I want you guys to notice the slightly next level IQ thing that you can point out as far as these play sharps go. If you don't know what you're doing with the play sharp and you're just going to do some randomness and just run straight to the left right here, you're going to completely ruin this play. Now, because AK moved to the right and he's forcing it toward the big man's side instead of the lockdown and forcing this switch to happen, he's going to get me wide open and it makes the big drop down with him. Now, here is one massive problem with this game right here. So, shot contesting and the ability to stay with your opponent, right? So he was actually able to still recover, was able to still get in his face, but couldn't get his hands up, and even at that, he's right underneath him. I feel like this deserves a little bit more than a 5% contest, but Intimidator got nerfed, and as a community, we asked for things like Intimidator to get nerfed, and it really came full circle. They did it exactly. They nerfed Intimidator, and really what happened is they entirely nerfed shot contesting. Like, I got 97 perimeter defense, and I feel like I still don't get the best contest either way, even if I'm in that exact same situation that that guy was right there with their lockdown. And maybe I'm overreacting, but I do think the playmaking shot creator should be the best build in 2K as long as the person controlling it actually has stick skill. Like, I honestly feel like I've been on an inside big for the last 4 years, right? Whether it was 2K17, I'm on an athletic finisher, 2K18 still an athletic, 2K19 still an athletic, 2K20 I was on like a slash defender, and then in this year I'm a pure lock. So that's literally 5 years straight of doing it. Now, I did play on a point guard every single year of playing 2K before that, all the way back to 2K11, but I feel like this has got to be the easiest year to be a point guard, like especially a play shot. Now, I say that extremely meaning only a play shot, because it'd be very difficult to be a pure playmaker in this game. Really, that's just how it is. Like, the shooting inconsistency would really ruin you, and when it comes to the play shots, I gotta say, this has got to be the easiest year to be a outside point guard, like, no doubt about it. Now, right there, maybe I'm just complaining too much, because I get a 35% contest, and I need to get my hands up. I complain about that stuff consistently, but I was still able to get a contest like that even without putting my hands up. So I don't even know, but you can see, I mean, just ridiculous amount of speed you get with the speed boost glitch, the range you can shoot from, the consistency that you shoot with. I mean, it's reminiscent to 2K17 speed boosting sharps, but even faster because of that speed boost glitch and the curry slide and stuff like that. And I gotta say, the two important things that you should mention when mentioning the similarities of the play shot in 2K21 and the pure sharp that could speed boost in 2K17 is the fact that defense was actually pretty solid in 2K17 and every build could shoot in 17. So the pure sharp didn't stand out as much. Now, the pure sharp was by far like the only head and shoulders ridiculous great shooter in the game, but pure playmakers and stuff like that, even shot creators, glass cleaners were out here catching shooting, athletic finishers were catching shooting, rim protectors, post scores. I mean, every build could shoot, right? And now in this year, it seems as if the play sharp is the only build that can shoot in 2K21 that's viable for running. Now you can see right there, this is where I got switched onto the ball handler, my arrow was on the big man, and you stand no chance playing defense like that. Your arrow is going to get pulled. Now, people try to tell me like, oh, just turn off the arrows. It doesn't work like that, bro. It's just a visual thing. But anyway, I'm going to stay on topic. So pretty much what I think 2K21 Next Gen is going to need is going to be some balance when it comes to the point guard position. I do think the play shot, like I said, should be the best build in the game. As you can see, AK hits the 42% green in his face just like that. But like I said, the play sharp should be the best build in the game if controlled by somebody that's actually very good on the sticks. I do think, however, that we need more balance when it comes to the point guard position in 2K21, whether it be current gen or next gen, because flat out, like I said in the title, there is no reason to be anything other than a play shot in 2K21, whether it be the pure playmaker, the BP, that's mostly slashing, some shooting, a playmaking slasher for that matter. Now, granted, a lot of this comes with what court we're on. We're in the stage 3s. Three-pointers rule. That's just how it's always going to be in here. So play shots are always going to rule the stage 3v3 court. But honestly, go back to last year's game, or even the year before that, or the year before that. Play shots on 2v2 have never been a viable thing as far as the best build in the game. Whether it's just actual pure shot creators from 2K18 to 2K19, 2K20, it was play locks all day, every day. There was 2 play locks on the court every single time, and it was just double ISO fest where you just hop dunk the weak link, which was generally a play shot. And the play shots had no place on that 2v2 court because flat out, they just weren't as much of an offensive nightmare as they are in this game. Fades weren't quite as good. You know, the speed boosting and shooting consistency from the 3 wasn't quite as good as it is right now. The ability to hit whites was not as good. And the fact that why even be a play shot in 2K20 because the play locks could shoot at a ridiculous rate if you had a little bit of ounce of talent in your hands and your sticks to be able to green shots. Anyway, my whole point is 2K always needs balance, and I feel like the more we go to these archetypes, the more imbalanced it becomes because one thing becomes super dominant. And in 2K, there's always going to be a meta build, and in 2K21, it's the playmaking shot creator. Now, you could make a debate that this is the best build in 2K history, honestly. Like, go back to all the games. Now, we cannot talk about the 2K15 demigods or anything like that, but a legitimate build. Honestly, Go back to 2K17, the pure point forward was probably the best build that I've ever seen in 2K history, and this playmaking shot creator beats that build. When you talk about the speed boosting sharps from 2K17, the shooting rate was very similar. Now, the thing that wasn't very similar is the ball handling ability, the speed with the ball in your hand. Now, granted, like I said, you could speed boost with the sharpshooters in 2K17, but when you look at this right here, like sharps were not doing this in 2K17. Dudes were getting pokes easy. In single teams, even at that. Like, you would get exposed with your ball handling ability sometimes when you're being defended, especially by a pure lockdown. But for it to take that long, and like I said, this is a very similar thing to the 2K17 sharp, to be able to just green from half like that. But I don't know. Leave your guys' feedback. Let me know what you think the best build in 2K history is. Let me know if you think I'm overreacting when it comes to how great these play sharps are. But I feel like you can't even debate this stuff. Like, this is by far the best build in the game. And like I said, debatably the best build in 2K history. So anyway, if you disagree, feel free to leave a comment. If you do agree, feel free to leave a comment as well. If you made it to the end of the video, put sharp in the comments to show the support you made all the way through. And like I said in the intro, let's try this 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.